Saying goodbye to talented artists is easier said than done for Levine. During the Monday, April 7 episode of The Voice, the Maroon 5 frontman was faced with an impossible choice after Ari Camille and Britton Moore performed in the knockout rounds. "It's that time again," Adam, 46, said in a confessional interview. "I got to put good people against good people. There's nothing I can do about that. It shows me that if you're able to win this knockout round, you can go a lot further." Ari, 21, kicked things off with a unique rendition of Love Like This by Faith Evans before Britton, 21, got his country on with a performance of Zac Brown Band's Free. Tri-Patten/NBC, The Voice is on the hunt for the best undiscovered singers in the country. Season 27 of NBC's hit reality competition show returned in January, and coaches Kelsey Ballerini, Michael Bublé, John Legend, and Adam Levine didn't waste any time building their teams in the blind auditions. Despite a 5-year hiatus from the "It's Going to Be Hard," Adam shared moments before the performances. "There's something about that Ari. She is special. But Britton is a bit of a chameleon. He's exploring. That's a good thing. Two very different singers. Two very good singers. It's going to be tough." Fellow coach Kelsey Ballerini couldn't pick a winner, while Michael Bublé tried to wrap his head around the fact that both members of Team Adam were only 21. "Both of you earned the right to not lead this competition," John Legend added. "I'll tell you that. All of the feedback clearly didn't make Adam's choice any easier. You guys both did exactly what needed to be done, which is amazing for you guys, but super crappy for me," he said. "I feel like everyone's going to be alright. I don't know what I'm going to do yet. Please don't ask me, Carson Daly." When it was time to make a decision, Adam joked that the difficult choice may push him to leave the show for good. Who is your favorite coach of The Voice? A homecoming of the utmost significance was promised for Adam Levine when he made his return to The Voice for the 27th season. The leader of Maroon 5, known for his quick wit, rock star swagger, and ability to recognize talent that was still in its infancy, slid back into the red chair as if he had never left. The fans were overjoyed, the other coaches were on edge, and Team Adam was prepared to completely crush the competition. However, during a knockout round that was broadcast the previous week, Levine surprised everyone by jokingly declaring that he was ready to quit after witnessing a performance that was so tough that it caused him to question his coaching abilities as well as his sanity. The remark was, as expected, a pure Adam. It was half a joke, half a heartfelt expression, and all drama. These two big hitters from Team Adam, indie rocker Zara Cole and soul powerhouse Jalen Brooks, were competing against each other in a high-stakes elimination match. The moment occurred during the match. Zara chose Radiohead's Creep, giving a raw and haunting take that peeled back layers of vulnerability. Jalen, on the other hand, countered with Sam Cooke's A Change Is Gonna Come, his voice soaring with gospel grit and quiet fire. Zara and Jalen were both given the task of selecting their own songs. It was impossible to find a single flaw in either performance. As the final notes went away, the audience erupted in applause, the coaches jumped to their feet, and Levine sagged back in his chair, raking his hands through his hair as if he were a man who had just weathered a hurricane. As he threw his pen upon the desk with an exaggerated flair, he said, "Holy. Okay, I'm done. I decided to resign. This is something that I am no longer able to perform. That was far too difficult. Both of you have just broken me." A sparkle in Levine's eye hinted at a truth that lay underneath the rhetoric. Selecting a winner between Zara and Jalen was a nightmare that he had not signed up for. The crowd exploded in laughter, but the glimmer in his eye hinted at the truth. It had already been a rocky ride for Levine when he returned to The Voice following a 6-year break, with his most recent coaching stint occurring in season 16. His desire to redeem his legacy was something that he had expressed from the beginning of the blind auditions. The first episode of the season included him telling the host, Carson Daly, that he had unfinished business, despite the fact that he had already won 2 games. It is my intention to construct a group that cannot be refuted, and he did construct it. Grunge, soul, pop-punk, and folk were just some of the genres that were represented on Team Adam, which reflected Adam's own artistic DNA. However, despite the fact that this diversity was a strength, it turned out to be a double-edged sword when it came to the knockouts, particularly when he had to pit his artists against each other. Levine had spent a significant amount of time behind the scenes with guest mentor Billie Eilish, preparing Zara and Jalen. Later, he stated, Billie's vibe was perfect for this, and he was right. She encouraged Zara to really immerse herself in the strangeness of Creep, and she convinced Jalen to cut a change down to its essential components. My assumption was that I was prepared for what they would deliver. However, he was not. Zara's dark intensity and Jalen's soulful warmth collided well on stage, generating a knockout that felt more like a conclusion than a mid-season face-off. Jalen's performance was perfect for the occasion. Coach Gwen Stefani was amazed by the experience, saying, "It was like watching 2 different films. I simply became so engrossed in it that I forgot I was meant to provide feedback." Levine's light-hearted meltdown unfolded in real time on the occasion of the moment when it was time to ponder. "I'm serious, guys," he called out as he turned around to face Stefani, John Legend, and Michael Bublé, who was just starting out. "How should I choose? I am a complete and utter mess right now. Zara is giving me the chills, and Jalen is giving me life. Someone else should take over this squad. I'm leaving." Legend, who was known for his exceptional diplomatic skills, laughed and remarked, "Adam, you've gone through worse. There is hope for you." A smirk appeared on Bubbly's face as he said, "I'd take 'em both, but I think you'd fight me for it." In response, Levine said, "Michael, I would fight you if I could. Despite the fact that I would lose, I would fight." In a throwback to his early days on the program, when he would spar with Blake Shelton, or seem exasperated when faced with difficult calls, the lightness was a classic example of Levine's comedic style. However, a coach who was contending with a true predicament was hiding behind the humor. "I despise this part," he confessed after the laughter had subsided significantly. "In spite of the fact that you put everything you have into these artists, you still have to cut one. It's unrelenting. Both of them are deserving of being here." The viewers' reaction to his candor was so strong that they flooded social media with messages of encouragement. One of the users on X remarked, "Adam's pretending to quit because he loves his team too much is one of the best examples of Adam." The words, "Zara and Jalen broke him, and I'm crying with him. Save them both," were added by another user. Surprisingly, Levine did not give up his job in the end. Nevertheless, he did make a decision. In spite of the fact that he was walking about the stage like a tiger in a cage, he chose Jalen as the winner, noting his once-in-a-generation vocal control. The Detroit native, who was 26 years old at the time, was told by him, "You took a classic and made it yours. I am unable to disregard that." Zara was ousted from the competition, but she did not leave without a prize. Stefani pushed the steal button faster than you could say, "No doubt," and she was able to get the 23-year-old player from Portland for her squad. Stefani joked, "Adam's loss is my gain," while Levine mock glared at her. "Adam's loss is my gain. Please accept my thanks, Gwen. I will keep this in mind." The joke about quit continued to be told, and it eventually became a running joke among the coaches. During the subsequent recording session, Bubbly came up to Levine and said, "Hey, are you still here? After last night, I thought you were finished with them." In response, Levine stated, "Yeah, man, I'm struggling to hold on by a thread. Please don't put me to the test," including Daly, who introduced Team Adam with the phrase, "And here's Adam Levine," who may or may not stick around. Stay tuned. Daly was also a part of the fun. In addition to enhancing Levine's larger-than-life presence this season, the bit has also served to remind everyone of the reasons why his comeback was so eagerly awaited. An important turning point occurred for Team Adam when they were knocked out. Jalen, who is currently a frontrunner, stated that Levine's response stoked the fire that is within him. His words were, "It's a boost when your coach jokes about quitting because you're that good," and he said that it was, "I'm going to exert more effort now." Zara, who was doing well on Team Gwen, mirrored the idea, saying, "Adam believed in me, even if he had to let me go. What is this quit thing?" It was he who stated that we had killed it. A gift from Levine himself, the rest of the team has also rallied, and they are wearing coats that are personalized with the phrase Team Adam. Too tough to quit. Levine's mock resignation has become a symbol of his enthusiasm, as well as his ability to transform even the most difficult calls into entertainment gold. This comes as Season 27 is about to start the live rounds. "I'm not actually quitting," he explained in an interview that took place after the concert while smiling. "However, when I say that this team is making things difficult, I mean it. They're too good, and I'm too devoted to them right now." Fans and his artists wouldn't have it any other way if it weren't for the fact that Levine is always giving his whole attention, regardless of whether he is pacing, making jokes, or holding back tears.